Hello, YouTube world. This is Marco G here at Motorcycle Tips and Trips. And today I'm going to cover the friction zone. And I'm here with Lily, and she's a new rider and she wants to learn how to ride a bike. And I'm going to help her out and tell her about the friction zone. So follow me and we'll cover that. Before we go on the friction zone, there's one thing you might need to know. A lot of people don't know this, but your clutch is in here. But on most bikes, your motor oil and your clutch uses the same oil. When you pour the oil in the motor, it's going into your gearbox and your clutches. And motorcycle, you could ride the clutch and you don't wear them out. They might be 5, 6, 10, 13 disc in there, but that's normal. So you got to remember, you're not going to burn your clutch. Well, there's a way of doing it, of course, but you don't have to be afraid of using that friction zone. And everything you do, stopping, going, doing maneuvers, whatever, you're going to use your friction zone, and you have to learn that. So follow me and we'll go on. Okay guys, we're covering the friction zone, but another thing I do advise, always wear full gear. As a fireman, I go to a lot of calls and I've seen a lot of stuff that I won't say on the YouTube, but that's because they don't wear gear. You gotta wear gear. But on a motorcycle, just like at a brake, you always cover your brake with 2 fingers. Clutch, I advise the same thing. If you want to use 3 fingers, that's fine. I don't like the 4 fingers because sometimes when you're turning to the left and you feel your bike falling, kickstand up, you tend to pull it, and once you lose traction, that bike's going to fall. By this, I can control the clutch, but I still have a grip of the handlebar. And I found out that's a whole lot easier for me to hold it and not drop it. Many times I've dropped it, and remember, on the motorcycle, don't be embarrassed. You drop your bike, I don't care how long you've been riding. Even the GP racers do it, so, because there's 2 wheels. All right, follow me. The friction zone, before you do that, there's one thing you need to learn. You gotta have a free play. And normally the manual will tell you what you need, but normally 2 nickels or 2 quarters gap, when you press this, fitting in there, that little gap is the adjustment that you need. The purpose of that is so when you know that the clutch is compressed completely, sitting on the gearbox. If not, you could be riding and you'll burn your clutch. This is the only way you know. So remember that, 2 quarters, 2 nickels. Okay, here we are, and show you the friction. I'm gonna crank her up. I hope it's not too noisy. So right now, it's hitting my finger, but it's not engaged. Here's not engaged. What you try to look for is, and kickstand up, what you need to practice is finding that spot where it wants to go. Then you release. It wants to go, then release. And that's where your friction zone is. As long as you practice that, you know where it's gauging. Of course, it's all in between from here to all the way out, but I'm not gonna go all the way out. But you need to know that feeling. Once you disengage your traction in the back, the motorcycle could fall. As long as you have traction, it's not going to fall. So after you hear, you got to go balancing, but you have to learn that traction. When you're taking off at a light, you're going to use that, accelerate, and you start going. Now another thing, when you're accelerating, you never use the front brake and the accelerator at the same time. You're going to need to use your rear. So when I'm taking off, it's all on the rear brake, and you don't have to worry it's going to roll because your foot here. If you do this, it's going to roll on you. So, but you got to practice that takeoff. Okay. little slower. You hit the friction zone to slow you down. There you go. Remember, this drill not only helps you to manipulate your speed at a slow speed, but also you are learning how to balance your bike at slow speed. And you know, there's nothing wrong putting your foot down. Many are told, oh, you don't put your foot down, don't put your foot down. When you're learning, put your foot down. What's more embarrassing, putting your foot down or your bike falling? So always have your foot ready. If you feel like it's going to fall, get your foot, let it hang, doesn't matter. Don't drag your feet on the ground. See, now she's getting it, see? She's going, learning that friction zone. And she's doing great. And this will help in traffic. You're in a highway and bumper to bumper and it's going slow. That builds up that confidence that you're able to do that. That's fine. What this is, you're in traffic on 85. Traffic is moving very slow. That's good. One more. And then the traffic stops. That's all right. That's all right. Just get in that field. You're doing good. And try to do almost like a stop and then go, if you could. If you put your foot down, that's fine. Believe it or not, that friction thing is the most important part to save you in situations of embarrassment. Thank you for watching. Practice, practice, practice. See you in my next video. I gotta go now because I have to go for my ride.